One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. And a very good afternoon. Welcome to the Tingha Sports Ground for this afternoon's Northwest Rugby League matches between Tingha and the visitors Gilgai Imperials. At the moment, reserve grades in progress between Tingha and Gilgai Imperials. Tingha lead the match by 11-2, scoring 3 tries. Tries scored by Ting, the winger, a single, the setter, and also Paul Carpenter, number 11, the big fellow on the field. 11-2 is the score, and we've had probably 30 minutes or 25 minutes of play in this first half, getting very close to half-time. This video today is brought to you with the compliments of Stanley's Pharmacy, Ron Daly, Bob Tootle and Clinton Brothers Butchery, our good sponsors who keep behind Northwest League. Reserve grade in progress as we see a drop ball by a Gilgai player, kicked through by a Tingha player, but referee Glyn Jones has got him for being offside. Conditions here at Tingha, beautiful, very lovely sunny day, just a light breeze blowing at the moment. The field's in good condition following the rain during the week. So it's all set for a good game here this afternoon. The first grade should be a beauty. Tingha, of course, leading the competition on 24 points. Gilgai Imperials are running third on 19, but the Gilgai boys certainly have their tails up after defeating the equal competition leaders at that stage, Bingra, last week. So let's pick up the reserve grade game as the pass goes to Aki Man, stops as he takes it, then gets over the quarter before he's dropped in a tackle by Mick Butterdine and Rocky Connors. Try and pick a few of these players up. As running now is Sutton, he locked forward, shrugs off a tackle from Wilson. Wilson grabs him, the short pass to Anderson, the 5'8", stands in the tackle, but eventually goes down about 12 metres out in front of the uprights. 11-2 as the Tigers press. Ball comes out, it comes out to Gerard, the fullback up the line. Dummies, gets through one tackle, almost gets to the try line a couple of metres short before he's tackled by Robinson. Ball played, Carpenter runs from dummy half, runs himself, runs into a tackle there by the Gilgai player. We can't pick him up. It was Johnny Fenton on the 5th tackle. Carpenter plays the running from dummy half and will score. That's the halfback, is it? No, it's the 5'8", Anderson. That makes the score 14 points to 2 in favour of Tingha. Right behind the conversion attempt by Paul Carpenter. It's on the quarter and about 13 or 14 metres in from touch. Score is 14-2 in favour of Tingha, very close to half-time. Carpenter moves in right foot, the ball, but swung right away to the left, no goal. And the score remains Tingha leading Gilgai Imperials by 14 points to 2. From the kick-off from Gilgai, the ball was knocked on by, I think it was Philip Schumann, and the scrum packs about 15 metres inside Tingha territory. 14-2 in favour of the Tingha side. Ball's in, one by Gilgai. Mark Wilson throws it back, a poor attempted pass as he missed by a Tingha player, knocked on eventually by Wilson on halfway, but that was scrappy play from Wilson. He just shoveled that ball back, and his player in support, I think it was Fenton, had no help picking it up, and it was almost a Tingha ball. But anyway, the scrum pack's just inside Tingha territory. Ball's in, it comes out Tingha's way, but the referee wants it in again. Gilgai Imperials no chance of making the semi-finals in reserve grade, while Tingha is running third at the moment. But certainly the reserve grade looks like a two-horse race between the Ashford side, who are leading the competition, and the team running second, Bingra. Anyway, let's pick up players. Ashley Sutton, in fact, has picked up and dropped to the ground. It was a good tackle there by one of the players. It was lock forward Rolf. Ball's played, it comes out to Anderson. Anderson shows it inside, then decides to run himself. Gets 10 metres inside Gilgai territory. Ball's out, they got the overlap now. Mayfield stops, gets the ball away to Fenton. Single it is, gets over the quarter before he's tackled by Wilson, and coming across in cover, Butterdine. The Tigers lead the Wolves 14-2 as the ball's played. It comes to the blind. Anderson, the 5'8", runs. He runs into a tackle from another player. Gee, it was. And there's the half-time bell. And Tingha lead Gilgai 14-2. Tries have been scored by Carpenter has scored 1. Anderson has scored 1. Single has scored 1, as has Ting, and 1 goal to the halfback Payne. And for Gilgai, 1 penalty goal. 14-2 is the half-time score in favour of Tingha.
He used his gun. Good play. I'll break my rule today. Good on you.
He's going. He pushed the ball down the second time. Run there, take it on, put it on.
Game's underway again, 14-2, and one change in the Tingha side. Ashley Sutton, the lock forward, who is having a strong game, has come off. Tingha apparently feel they have the game in hand. His place has been taken by David Littinger. From the scrum, the ball comes out to Cole Payne, who dummy spots a bit of a gap, pushes off. Kenton Robinson gets over halfway. Payne spotted the gap. He's got plenty of pace. Calling Littinger inside him now. Looks outside, steps inside. The fullback's tackle, and Payne's going to score a fine individual try. He'll put it down about 12 metres to the left of the uprights. He's gapped Gilgai on halfway. Called David Littinger inside. Littinger couldn't get inside him, so Payne took the odds of stepping around the fullback. He did it, and it makes the score now 17 points to 2 with the kick to come. Tingha lead as Fenton, the fullback, kicks off for Gilgai. It's going deep into the territory of Tingha, picked up by Gerard. Gerard is tackled, doesn't move very far, tackle midway between the quarter and halfway. It's played, comes out to Hitchens, the second rower, goes shapes to pass, takes the odds to the tackle, stands to the tackle, but finally knocked over. The tackle by, who was it, Mark Rolfe, the lock forward, who's injured again. Carpenter, the big prop forward now, shows the ball inside, gets a short pass away to Mayfield, knocks the ball on, loses the ball, dives on by a Gilgai player. Rocky Connors, it is, the prop forward, who's tackled on halfway. Takes the tap from the play the ball movement and runs a further 6 or 7 yards, and a tackle about 12 metres inside the Tingha territory. It's played, Wilson at dummy half, it's passed away to Butterdine. Butterdine runs into the forwards, but the Aki man comes over the top with the assistance of Hitchens, and about 35 metres away from the Tingha line he'll play it. It's played, Merchant, the prop forward, short pass to Rolfe, the lock forward. Rolfe stands, loses the ball, picked up by a Tingha player. Mayfield dives on it, and Mayfield it is, who'll play it about 8 metres outside his quarter. Aki man, the big prop forward, veteran player, pushes off a tackle from Butterdine. Butterdine comes again with the assistance of Connors and another player there too. It's played. Bernie Anderson, it is, yes it is, with a beard, a bit unrecognisable, looks like a bit like Ned Kelly. Finally it is Cole Payne who gets the ball and takes it to halfway before he's dropped. It's played, comes out to Ricky Fenton, having one of his rare touches. The ball gets half through Connor's tackle. Another player, Butterdine, comes across and effectively holds Fenton 10 metres inside Gilgai territory. Pip Sherman now running from dummy half, spots the defence, all gets through a poor tackle from Bevan Ross, the bootmaker. Still going Sherman, and finally his legs are taken under him by the second rower. Inside the quarter on the 5th tackle. Ball plays to Carpenter. Away goes to Hitchens, the second row, running across field, shapes to kick, then gives it to Gerard. A pass goes out to a Tingha player who's tackled before the ball got to him. The referee's got a Tingha player for being offside. It was Gerard in front of the player who touched the ball. The penalty goes to Gilgai, just outside their quarter. The score 17-2 in favour of Tingha. Kick being put up by Gilgai, and the tap will be taken about 6 metres inside Gilgai territory. As I mentioned, Tingha running third in the reserve grade premiership, whereas Gilgai cannot make the semi-finals. As the score would indicate, Tingha far and above the better side. 17-2. Spook Cornell takes the tap. No Gilgai player within Kiwi, so he takes the odds to it and gets tackle on halfway. Taken into tackle there by man. Ball played. It comes out to running across field. Merchant, the prop forward, runs straight into Carpenter, the biggest man in the field. And with the assistance of man, they drop him about 8 metres inside Tingha territory. Running the blind is the bootmaker, Ross. He's hit by Carpenter and goes nowhere. Loses the ball. Picked up by a Tingha player, but the referee's ordered the knock on. (17-2) is the score, with the scrum packing down about 8 metres inside the Tingha territory. Very, very few clouds in the sky, wispy sort of clouds. Good weather here, sunny, just a light breeze. Could get cool later on, but magnificent day at the moment. From the scrum it comes out Tingha's way, but the referee wants it in again. Halfback Cole Payne feeding the ball. It's in one by Tingha. Pass goes behind it as it goes back to retrieve and is sat upon by a player breaking from the scrum. It was, who was it, Rolfe, the lock forward. 13 metres inside Tingha territory. It comes out to Mayfield. Then a pass to Lettinger, the replacement player for Ashley Sutton. Finds a bit of a gap. Then gets a pass to Single. Goes behind him. Picked up by Mayfield. He throws it one to Fenton, the winger. Comedy of errors. Finally, Fenton is pushed back a few metres and will play the ball about 42 metres away from his own line. There's a player running now. Looks like Single. It is the setter, one of the try scorers. And he's taken about 20 metres inside his own territory. 17-2, the Tigers lead. Pip Sherman decides, changes his mind, comes back to the blind side, gets out of Gardner's tackle, the replacement player, runs into Butterdine, and Butterdine holds him up a few metres inside Tingha territory. Sherman plays it. It's played to Carpenter. Carpenter puts the boot to it, going straight across field. Not one of his better kicks. Waiting for the ball is who? A Gilgai player. Taken well by that player too. And that is, could be Gardner, is it? On the far side. And he's eventually thrown into touch. No, it was Brian G, in fact, the fullback, Brian G. Scrum packs 10 metres inside Tingha's territory, score 17-2 in favour of the Tigers. Real clash of the canine variety today, the Tingha Tigers versus the Gilgai Imperial Wolves. Ball in, comes out to whose side? Nobody's, few knock-ons, referee wants it in again. Ball's in, it comes out Tingha's way, picked up by Cole Payne at the scrum base, fires it away to Lettinger. They got the overlap, Tingha, pass to Single, well picked up, then to Mayfield. They got the overlap pass, comes out to Fenton, the winger now, he's got plenty of pace, he'll score. Flying downfield, Gardner's coming across at him, Gardner grabs his Guernsey and holds him too, just over the quarter. 20 metres out from the Gilgai line, he'll play it. Fenton didn't quite have the pace to get away from Gardner, who come across in cover. There's Single, the centre now, tries to get through Robinson's tackle, but Robinson, nice boots and all tackle, about 20 metres away from the line. It's played, Mayfield fires it away to Lettinger, then a pass goes out to 5'8" Anderson, then to Gerard, a long pass, then to the hooker, Lavender, pass to Winger on the far side, Tingha, oh, beautiful tackle coming across, G, takes a bit of touch. He was in for all money and he's been taken into touch about 2 metres short of the Gilgai line. Ball's in the scrum, comes out Tingha's side, but the referee wants it in again, come out the same channel. Ball will be fed in by the halfback for Gilgai, Wilson. It's one of the rare Gilgai scrum wins. No, it's not I spoke to earlier. It's the Tingha winners. 5'8" Anderson is tackled about all 5 or 6 metres away from the Gilgai line. He'll play it. It's played at dummy half. Payne fires it to Schumann. Schumann going back into the forwards, but can't get through there. Push back, in fact, about 5 metres by Butterdine. Strong tackle of that fellow. Ball comes out to Carpenter. Dummies to pass inside, but it's got straight through the defence and will score about 5 metres in from the corner on the far side. It makes the score 20 points to 2. Paul Carpenter's second try. Get the names of the players and their numbers. I think Kenny Bartholomew Let's watch the attempted conversion by David Lettinger right out near the touchline. He's taken it back about 25 metres. 20-2, moves in, right foot to the ball. It's going to the right of the uprights, no goal. So the score remains in favour of Tingha Tigers, 20 points to 2. We've had about 10 minutes of play in the second half. Ball will be kicked off by halfback Mark Wilson for Gilgai. It's kicked off down into the Tingha territory, picked up by Gerard with a new look haircut. Gets to 10 metres short of the halfway before he's tackled. Swung around a bit by Rocky Connors with the assistance of Wilson the half. It's played, Carpenter doesn't know where to throw it, goes to Mann like a basketballer, loses it, goes behind him, picked up by Ting, who made inroads into the Gilgai defence before losing it. Knocked on by the lock for Gilgai, Rolf, taken off in by Carpenter, but the referee said we'll play the first of the 7 knock-on fellas, and the scrum will pack down about 11 or 12 metres inside the Tingha territory. Mark Rolf playing in the 5/8 position, and Quinnell's gone into the lock for Gilgai. From the scrum win, Anderson it is, the 5/8, who takes the ball up 10 metres short of halfway. Gilgai played without the ball in the second half. In fact, the scrums must be a commanding lead to Tingha in that department. Hitchens, the second row, runs across field, runs into the trouble though. Glenn Merchant is on, and Butterdine, they both combine to bring him 9 metres inside Tingha territory. It's played, that's Alex Lavender, the hooker now, runs into Connors, gets half through Connors' tackle, but Connors clings to him. About 3 metres short of halfway he's grasped. Takes the tap too from the play of the ball and runs a further 5 or 6 metres over halfway before he's sat on by Glenn Merchant and brother Terry. Ball's played, Cole Payne unloads it to Anderson, the 5'8". Anderson decides to straighten up, puts on the pace, sends a pass to Carter, which must have been close to 4. Then a pass to Gerard, the winger. They got the numbers. Oh, terrible pass. Went behind Lettinger. Picked up behind him by Ting, the winger. And he's taught on the quarter, on the 5th tackle. Gilgai at 6s and 7s if Tingha can swing the ball. Lettinger now decides we'll do that. Ball comes out Mayfield, then it goes to Anderson. If he lets the go, they'll score. Then it goes to Payne. Payne juggles it, gets through a tackle, sent a long pass out to the winger Fenton. Fenton must score. He's got nobody to beat us. He's got the line wide open and falls over the line. Makes the score now 23 points to 2 in favour of Tingha Tigers with the kick to come. Well, Ricky Fenn's been rewarded with his penalty kick at the conversion attempt, but his attempt gets off the ground, I can say that much, compared to the others, but it's certainly no straighter. The score remains at 23 points to 2 in favour of the Tingha Tigers. Ball kicked off by Mark Wilson for Gilgai. The ball goes deep, taken again by Gerard. They're having their own little scenario, Wilson and Gerard. Wilson will kick off and Gerard takes it 2 or 3 times so far in the game. There's Aki Mann, the prop forward, lifts the knees as he goes into defence and has taken 10 metres short of halfway. Mann, the big prop forward. Looks like Graham Olling with a sparse bit of hair around the top. Anyway, the ball comes out to Schumann. Schumann gets out of 2 or 3 attempted tackles. Still going, Pip Schumann over halfway. He's held up in a tackle by Wilson, and the bootmaker was in there too, as was Butterdee. The ball comes out. It comes to Anderson, then a pass to Payne, then a pass out to Mayfield, the centre. And he's taken about 6 metres inside Gilgai territory. They're moving the ball a lot now. Tingha, as it comes out to Schumann, anxious to get involved in the play. Gets out of Rolf's tackle. Still going, Schumann, and gets almost to the corner before he's dropped in the 5th tackle. Tingha lead 23-2, scoring 7 tries and kicking only 1 goal. Here's Carpenter now. The prop puts the big kick up, and the Tingha defence charging through. Gardner waiting for it. Under pressure, loses it. Comes off his shoulder, picked up by a Tingha player, and about 5 metres short of the line. The referee orders him to play it. So Tingha in possession with 6 to go. It comes to Carpenter, the prop. Now gets a pass away that tried to be intercepted by Gilgai, but they're creating the overlap now as Payne gets a pass away to Fenton, and he's heading for try number 2, the winger. He's going to put it down in this corner, about 10 metres in from the corner. In fact, as the defence was beaten, the intercept was gone, went for by one of the Gilgai players. That created the overlap. Payne fired another one out to Fenton, and that makes the score 26-2 with the kick to come. Jock Single attempting the conversion of the try. That's a kick that's got off the ground, but it's gone the other side of the post this time. If we wait here long enough, we'll get a kick ourselves. I think they've kicked 11 of them had a kick. The other 2 probably got broken toes. I don't know, but the score's 26 points to 2 in favour of Tingha as I skater. 8 tries now and only 1 goal. So goal kicking department, not Tingha's strong point. Single with a bit of a grin on his face after that kick. He says, well, fellas, at least I got mine off the ground. Johnny Fenton kicks the ball off, goes deep down, and once again going back for his Gerard, but this time he'll be beaten to it by Lettinger. Lettinger, the replacement player, gets through Wilson's tackle, gets through another tackle from Maurice, runs right through them. Lettinger looks to support, runs past the fullback, but he was half stopped by Fenton, and the referee, as he got to halfway and tackled, the referee's ordered this scrum for the knock-on. That was pitiful defence. He went straight through them. He was only going at half pace too. Scrums to pack just a couple of metres inside Gilgai territory. Ball to be fed in by Wilson. It comes out the same channel, but the referee says play on this time as Anderson throws the big dummy Anderson, the 5'8". Converted forward he is, and about 6 metres inside Gilgai territory he is tackled. Ball's played, man at dummy half, gets it away to Carpenter, then a long pass, cuts out a play, goes to Single. Single, the centre, gets past Jeeg, throws a pass to Fenton. Fenton has to go back to retrieve it, and G said, this is the moment I waited for, and sits on him about 30 metres away now from the Gilgai line. Score 26-2 in favour of the Tigers as Hitchens fires it away to Carpenter. Then a pass goes to Anderson, who knocks it on, and a scramble pack about 12 metres inside Gilgai territory. Video brought to you with the compliments of Bob and Lynn Tootle at the BP Gilgai, Ron Daly Real Estate in Inverell. Also, the other sponsors of the telecast today. I've just got to try and remember them for you. Ron Daly, Stanley's Pharmacy, Bob Tootle and Clinton Brothers Butchery, of course. From the scrum win, the ball's come out Tingha's side. There's Loudon to the hooker, gets through a tackle from Rolf, gets out of another tackle from Wilson, and finally has dropped about 25 metres away from the Gilgai line. But Gilgai are not moving up. They're not tackling the Tingha team and allowing them to run. The ball comes out to Carpenter, the prop, now gets a pass away to the 5'8" Anderson, who again knocks it on. Picked up by the centre 3/4 for Gilgai. That's Larkin, I think it is, or McFarlane it could be. And he'll play it. This is one of the few times that Gilgai's had the ball in the second half, if not the first. On the quarter, G's tackle. Wilson, the halfback, runs from dummy half, but a nice tackle from the second rower. Hitchens drops him about 23 metres away from the Gilgai line. Ball comes out to Glenn Merchant. Props as he comes into the defence and is driven hard by the second rower, Hitchens again. Merchant it is, who plays it to Wilson. Wilson gives it back to Fenton. They're all standing in a bunch. Gilgai, Fenton kicks for touch. It won't find touch. It's gone back, split the winger, Lettinger, and Fenton, and also Lettinger the fullback. Lettinger now takes it up, runs into defence, gets a short pass away to Fenton the winger. Fenton flies upfield, gets to the halfway line, and is taken just over a couple of yards inside the Gilgai territory before he's tackled. Ball's played, Lavender gets it away to Carpenter, takes it one-handed now, running across field, sends a pass away to Single, who went without it, ball rolling loose on the ground, knocked on by Tingha, and his crumble packed down. Scrum packing, ball fed in by Wilson, comes out the zone channel, referee wants it in again. Score 26-2 in favour of the Tigers. They've drawn first blood here. The social game was won by them too, also 8 points to 3, I believe. Didn't see the match, but from reports, 8-3 was the score. But that was given to me by a bloke who failed in maths at school, so I don't know. Alavada gets 12 metres inside Gilgai territory before his tackle. Tingha in possession, ball to be played by Graade. It's given to Anderson, who's inside the 5. He was standing there inside the 5, no risk. About 2 metres away from the ruck, and this is a clampdown by referees statewide to have both sides, the defending and the attacking side, back behind the 5 yards. Anyway, from the tap, it comes back to Connors, the prop forward, and he's taken nicely by Hitchens, who's tackling well so far in this second half. About 5 metres short of halfway. Gilgai in possession. Butterdine now goes over halfway before he's wrapped up by Mann with the assistance of the centre Mayfield. Butterdine plays it. Robinson gets it away to Wilson. Then a pass goes to Glenn Merchant. He gets a short pass away to Rolf. It is the lock. Sends a pass out to on the far side. It could be G. It is G, the fullback. He's taken about 3 metres inside Tingha territory. Mark Rolf again is down. He's like a heavyweight boxer. Down every other count on a number of occasions. There's Merchant making a bit of a dash up the far side, but he's flung into touch by Carpenter. No effort for the big fellow. And the scrum pack's about 40 metres out from the Tingha line. From the scrum win, it's a Tingha ball. Again, I'd like to see the scrum count. Ball comes out Tingha's way. Lettinger now, the fullback, gets a pass away to Single, but the referee's got him for a forward pass there. Lettinger held the ball up for Single, who's coming at his top, and the referee spotted a forward pass as he let the ball go. And the penalty goes to Gilgai about 28 metres away from the Tingha line. Fenton, the fullback it is, who will come up and kick for touch on this side of the field. That's the western side. Will it find touch? It's going to be touched by a Tingha player, so scrum will back down. That's a bad kick by Fenton. Admittedly, he's taken the ball well deep into the territory, about 5 metres out from Tingha line, but it was touched by Tingha, so lost any advantage that they may have gained to Gilgai. And with the rate that Tingha are winning the scrums, you'd bet 100 to 1 against Gilgai winning this. Ball fed in by Payne. It's coming out Tingha's side. Payne gets it away to Anderson. Anderson comes back in towards the forwards and is held up by Wilson with the assistance of Quinnell, who may have hurt a leg there. It's played, comes out to Hitchens. The second row runs across field. Dummies now holds the ball up actually. It's taken about 18 metres out from his own line. It's played Mayfield at dummy half. Fires it away to Graade, running across field. Taken by Wilson and held up also by Gardner and Robinson in there too. Graade it is who will play it. Vince Graade. Ball's played. Pass from Single, it goes away to Mayfield, then it goes to Anderson, the 5'8", then to Carpenter. They're standing still though, Tingha. They've got the overlap though. The ball goes to Fenton, and from a standing start he flies over the corner, comes inside, gets out of Robinson's tackle, but taken by the setter McMahon with the assistance of G, about 25 metres out. Runs there, but the referee's got him, no risk. He wasn't, he was actually marked, I think. Bit of a hard decision there. The players were getting up to mark him and he took off. Anyway, penalty goes to Gilgai, and Butterdine it is, who'll kick for touch this time. Kicks for touch, and this time they make sure of it. They only gained 4 yards, but they made sure of it. And the tap will be taken about 21 metres away from the Tingha line. Wilson, the halfback, to take the tap. Takes it, gives it away to Connors, the prop forward, and runs into the defence. Loses the ball again as Connors knocked on by a Tingha player, and the scrum will pack down. Balls in the scrum, won by Tingha. But referee Glenn Jones wants it in again. 26-2 the Tigers lead. In again, referee wants it back in. 8 tries to 1 scored by Tingha. 8 tries to 0 actually. Gilgai's points coming from an early penalty goal from David Curtis. There's Lettinger taking in a nice tackle by Kenton Robinson, who pulled off a couple of good ones in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the match too on Paul Carpenter. Running from dummy half, it's Anderson. He's trying to bury his way through, but Wilson, and finally over the top, Butterdine it is, halts his progress. Ball played, given to Carpenter. Carpenter looking for the kick, and he's kicked it right back this way. I don't think he meant to kick it. It's bouncing, coming through quickly to the finger fence. Oh, knocked on by Sherman. He was home if he'd have picked that up. Picked up by a Gilgai player. At about 4 metres inside Gilgai territory. Fenton it is, who's injured. From the resultant play, Fenton's okay. The penalty's gone to Gilgai. Butterdine it is, who puts the kick up, and a nice kick by Butterdine takes play to the quarter Right on the quarter, in fact, where the tap will be taken. Wilson to take the tap. He's calling his players up. Takes the tap, gives it to Merchant the prop ball, but the referee's got the Tingha defence, Hitchens and Mann inside the 10 metres there. Meadows waving them back, and Jones, the referee, got them from the tap. It's given to Merchant. Merchant running across still. He'll need to straighten up if he's to do any good. He's easy meat for the defence as they trail him across and drop him about 10 metres out in front of the uprights. 26-2. Gilgai looking for a try to put some respectability back into the score. Connors, short pass back away, then to Gardner, then a pass to G, the fullback, bumbles the ball as he finally goes into touch. The scrum will pack about 10 metres out from the Tingha line. Quite a few spectators, both paying and non-paying here today. As Payne's gapped them from the scrum. Tackle though as he tried to call his support through, but Gerard couldn't get to him and he's taken about 18 metres out from his line. It's played, ball comes out to Mayfield, a bit at centre, then fires it away to Lettinger, then it goes to Single. Single looking for support, but runs straight into G, who come across and dropped him about 20 metres out from the Tingha line. 26-2 from dummy half. Lettinger fires it away to Fenton, the winger, comes in for a gallop, or he went through a couple of tackles. And 10 metres short of halfway, he's taken finally by Butterdine and Connors. It's played. Henderson in the cricket wicket gets it away to Carpenter, the big prop board, winding up, but gets almost to halfway before he's dropped. It's played. Dummy half Mayfield, away to Gerard. Gerard goes to pass, then decides to run himself, gets to halfway, and they converge on him. Former Gilgai player too earlier this year, Vince Gerard, and he's taken right on halfway, right in the centre of the field. Fifth tackle. 26-2. The Tigers no worries, and Payne knocks the ball on from the ruck, and a scrum will pack down. Butterdine, Aaron. Oh, man. From the scrum, comes straight through, picked up by Henderson. But the referee blows the whistle, wants the ball back in again. Score in favour of Tingha, 26-2. They got this one sewn up, ball's in, fed by Payne, referee wants it back in again. This will be the third attempt to get the scrum moving. Ball in, comes out, knocked on by Payne in fact at the scrum base. They might just toss a coin, fellas, be quicker. Ball goes in, it comes out to Tingha, and this time he said, well, I've given you enough chances. And the foot across, the referee signal. The penalty goes to Gilgai, right on halfway.
Try the ball on.
26-2 in favour of the Tingha side. Wilson takes the tap, gets it away to Merchant, who's about the only forward running for Gilgai. Held as he gets the ball away to Kenton Robinson. He runs into the player Mayfield, who tackled Merchant. So Mayfield effectively tackled both players. Comes out to Fenton, puts the kick in on the first tackle. The Gilgai defence is streaming through, but there's nobody quick enough to beat Lettinger to the ball. In fact, it's going to beat them all over the touchline. And the scrum will pack 5 metres out from the Tingha line. From the scrum and comes out Tingha's way. Payne at half-back, spots a bit of a gap, pushes off Quinnell's tackle, short pass to Anderson, the 5'8", and between them they make 10 yards. Take the ball 20 metres now away from the Tingha line. It's played. Gerard gets it away to Mayfield. They're using the backs at every opportunity. Tingha, Lettinger loses the ball, intercepted by the centre. McMahon it is for Gilgai, and he's down 20 metres short of the Tingha line. 26-2 in the dying minutes of the match, and there's a chance for Gilgai to try and put some respectability back into the score as it's lost by a Gilgai player, picked up by Robinson. 23 metres away from the Tingha line. Who wants it? Wilson goes behind him, wasn't ready, knocks it on. Terrible play. That's a stupid play by Wilson. He threw it straight back to Tingha. Well, this has been the story of the Gilgai performance, and Tingha just toying with them as Carpenter gets a pass, a sloppy pass. This game degenerating into a terrible match at the moment. 26-2, a scrum will pack down. From the scrum, it comes out Tingha's side. Anderson, the 5'8", steps inside Gardner's tackle, looks for support, gets the pass away to Mayfield. Mayfield still up about 5 metres short of halfway. 26-2 in favour of the Tingha Tigers. It's played, comes back to Payne, the half-back, looking for support, goes, shapes the pass in spots, then gets a nice pass around the defence to a player who knocked it on, picked up by a Gilgai player, but both sides have knocked on, and a scrum will pack down about 5 metres inside Gilgai territory. So the scrum packing down, the score 26-2 in the dying minutes of the match, and Tingha certainly have this one wrapped up. And very shortly we'll be back with the A-grade match for you between Tingha and Gilgai Imperials.